Peace and blessings, family. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and y'all know that I have been on a mission to introduce to you these wonderful emerging new market leaders and industry disruptors from the Mode Today Black Muslim Business Directory. And so I'm working on new platforms and other ways to get the word out there about you. So we picked 19 shows to test out on our new Roku network called Mode Today. So if you have Roku TV, and if you bought a TV in the last 2 years, they're all equipped with Roku at this point. Go out there and add the Mind of an Entrepreneur show to your channel list. The icon's gonna be Mode Today, and you should see it right here in the corner. And get access to the channel, and you will start to see some of our wonderful shows that are listed up here on our new Roku channel. This is just a little tester. Let's see if y'all like it. Let me know in the chat what you think, and go out there and add the channel to your Roku lineup. Let me show you what it looks like to your Roku lineup. Let's see, it'll look like that. There it is. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, family. You are tuned into the Mind of an Entrepreneur show, and we're going to be talking today about a fitness program, and just with a young brother who happens to be my cousin, who is a game changer in the fitness world. So sit back, relax, and don't forget, if you got Roku TV, he's running a little late, so we're going to, y'all get me for a few minutes. We're not going to be too long today, but I promise you we're going to be strong. They used to say that when I used to first come into mosque. That's what they used to say. Yeah, so if you got Roku TV, add the Mind of an Entrepreneur channel to your channel lineup. We just put some shows up there. Every time we interview one of these emerging leaders, we'll pop it up there. We haven't yet put the Sajdah Saturday Morning Coffee Talks up there, but that's coming soon too. So sit back and relax, and we'll be right back. You're tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show with your host, myself, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad. I am a multi-million-dollar business developer. I have developed business and real estate around the world, and I want to share with you my mental strategies, my technical strategies, and how I made it in the world of business. So I don't teach theory. I tell you about my life and introduce you to people who can also share with you what they've done to become successful. This is a practical show. This ain't a theory show. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned.
Enjoying precious moments with family and friends is what the holidays are all about. Taking care of your health is also important. Peripheral artery disease, also known as PAD, is a serious medical condition affecting 8.5 million American adults. If you're experiencing leg pain, leg swelling, or difficulty exercising, then you may have PAD. PAD can put you at a risk of a heart attack or stroke. If you or a loved one has any of these symptoms, call today or visit mivcmd.com for more information.
This is Sister Sajdah Muhammad. We are proud to announce that the Sajdah House commemorative Elijah coins are finally here. As we renovate and restore the former home of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, we have recycled the old copper gutters and downspouts and created a 1 ounce 39 millimeter coin made of 100% pure copper. Each coin is professionally graded and has its own barcode and registration number. This priceless heirloom, made from recycled copper from the messenger's home, is now available at sajdahhouse.com.
we're back and you're tuned into the Mind of an Entrepreneur show. And like I said, I'm your host, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad. You all heard me in that intro tell you all that our commemorative Elijah coins will be in this week. So if you have not pre-ordered, you better hurry up. So this jewelry that is made of copper from the messenger's home is for sale. And I always tell y'all, let's wear jewelry that matters. Y'all see, I'm always wearing something that matters when it comes to jewelry. So I rarely go into a store and just grab something. I usually try to make sure it has meaning to me, just because the jewelry reminds me and connects me to something. So I'm so excited that we've got those coins coming in, and we'll be able to get those shipments out to you this week. So the link is in the bio to order the commemorative Elijah coin pendants, or you can contact one of our experienced reps, either Sister Aletha, Sister Dawn in Atlanta, Dawn R, or Sister Anissa in Los Angeles, and they can help you get yourself all set up. So we're going to be talking today about fitness. And the reason why I think this is such an important topic, let me lay the bases on this while my cousin navigates his way to the computer. You know, part of doing for self is taking care of yourself. See, you'd be hard pressed to convince anybody that you love yourself and you're doing for self if you're not taking care of yourself. Listen, a lot of our health is energy, right? It's energy that impacts our blood flow, energy that impacts our blood pressure, what we eat, our hormones. And so that's a process that has to be managed on a long-term basis. And so every day for myself, I get my butt up and do some kind of workout, some kind of movement. If I miss it during the day, I try to get it in. And if I miss it completely, then I'll make sure I'm right back on it the next day. And that's important, right? Because sometimes we go through things energetically where we start to retain weight, or we'll retain water or whatever. And you just got to keep moving. It's important to keep moving. We talk about this a lot. You all saw the commercial for the Minimally Invasive Vascular Center. And one of the things that I can definitely tell you as a healthcare professional, and that is that the patients who move usually do better post-surgery, or they come in, they get their vascular workup, and they either don't need any surgery at all, or it's very minimal. So the movement is important. You got to get up and move. Our bodies were not designed to be sedentary. And, you know, it's in, as Muslims, it's in our lessons. And some of us, somebody said to me the other day, they said, you know what, people back in the day didn't have to do all this. I said, okay, well, they had different food, right? They weren't battling so much all this fake and processed food like what we have to go through, okay? They also moved a lot more. So people walked. People caught the bus. I mean, nowadays, not even children walk and move, which is bad, right? Because think about it. Our heart is a muscle. And that heart muscle, just like any other muscle, needs to be exercised in order for it to retain its function. You know, if you got muscles, you guys already know this. If you got muscles in your arms and you don't exercise them and work them out, next thing you know, you get flabby. You get loose. So it's very important. And nobody's saying you got to be super muscular. But you do need to make sure that you're doing something. I myself personally, I had this thing for a while, and this was probably something psychological or spiritual, but where I thought that if I didn't beat myself up that it wasn't a good workout. So I went through this phase of CrossFit and Tough Mudder, and I'm glad to say that I did it, but I've learned, and so now I do things that are more in flow and in line with who I am, like swimming. I've been working on spinning a lot lately, um, and I think it's a psychological thing. I think because a lot of times as you get older, you get a little thicker, and so I wasn't comfortable with being the thick girl because I never was a thick girl. But now I'm so proud of who I am physically, and how I present, and so it's I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for that focus on doing for self, that focus on taking care of my body. When we first became members of the Nation of Islam, and I don't know if people still do this, but back in the 90s, we got a list of all the food ingredients that we should stay away from. And so when, we started going to the grocery store, we would be picking up bottles, right? Looking at this, picking up packages, looking at it. And sometimes some of us need to get back to that. Some of us need to kind of go back to that, because if you're consuming things and you got ingredients in those things that you can't even pronounce, or that ain't got nothing to do with what you think you're eating, you probably should not be eating them. All these things like red dye number such and such, and of course the thing is good, like if it's some chips or some kind of snack, and we love snacks, right? Because snacks helps us with our nerves. It helps us and prevents us from having to be present, right? And you're not present because if you pick, you see people get big party-sized bag of chips, and they'll watch TV or do some work and end up eating the whole party-sized bag of chips, and not even realize, oh man, it's gone. And then you find yourself wanting more and wanting more because you're craving it. And a lot of that is the salt, sugar mix that's in there, but a lot of it is the chemical. It's really literally like doing drugs. And let me tell you how important this is. I was talking to my former business partner at the surgery center yesterday, and he was talking to me about the move of certain agencies, right, to reduce the amount of health care that is given to people. And this healthcare thing, we're so dependent on it that most of us don't really believe how tragic the situation is. We just really don't believe it. And so he was talking to me about how it all ties in with the money, right? So we have a government that has printed up a ton of money. One of the biggest expenses on the books is the public health system, the Medicare, and on the state level, the Medicaid. Medicare, Medicaid being those two big expense items. And so if they want to try to kind of fill in a financial gap from printing all this money, what in a lot of cases the plan is to do that by reducing those benefits. And some people say, well, that doesn't matter to me because I have commercial insurance. It matters because it affects the hospitals and the doctors that you go and see. And so a lot of doctors are getting squeezed in terms of the benefits that that the people get on their insurance that go back to the doctor. Doctors are getting squeezed. They're getting squeezed in the hospital because they either have the same salary or smaller salaries for more hours of work, and then seeing patients who have neglected themselves are usually tough patients to deal with, both psychologically and physically. And then at the end of the day, if you're a real physician, a real doctor, and you take that oath, you really want to make a difference in people's lives. And in so many cases, because a lot of the healthcare that they are being required to administer, it just doesn't it doesn't heal you, it doesn't fix you. And the way we practice medicine is that in a lot of cases it makes you sick in order to get you well. So it's kind of counterproductive. So I'm saying all that to say that it's so important that we take care of our body. Start reading those ingredients of things that you're taking in and ingesting. Make sure that, and I'm going to give you a little compromise. Even if you do have something that's your favorite food that you know probably ain't good for you, don't eat it every day. Don't eat it every other day. Maybe try it on a special occasion. If you know that eating all that cake is something you're not necessarily supposed to do, then don't do it. All right, so I'm going to go to commercial. I'm going to come back and I'm going to see where our guest is. And we'll be right back.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Get up and let's go and do something. Yes, sir. We cannot sit down. We cannot lay down. Yes, sir. We must get up. Yes, sir. And go to work.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.
We're back and you're tuned into the Mind of an Entrepreneur show. And today we're talking about health and wealth. And we had a guest plan today. He's trying to get in. And so we'll see what happens. And y'all know I can go deep on this subject. I didn't plan on it, but I can. I want to encourage each and every person that's watching, whether you are a Muslim or in the nation or not, to go out and purchase. You can go right to the Final Call store online and get the books. There's 2 books, How to Eat to Live, Volume 1 and 2. It's going to talk to you a lot about the food you should stay away from. It's going to show you a way of living and eating that will sustain and prolong your life. One of the things the messenger says is that most of us just eat ourselves to death. And when we're constantly overworking our stomach and our colon like that, pretty soon, because so much of our immune system, or most of our immune system, is in our gut, if you will, when we wear it down by eating all day, and so all day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, what happens is that muscle just keeps working and working and working, and it's working around the corner. Next thing you know, you're always getting sick. Next thing you know, you're sick to the stomach. You have things that are contagious. You can't even fight it off. And then you start getting that distension in your belly. And that distended belly, a lot of times, is because you've just got everything is so inflamed because it's just working so very hard. So that book will not only tell you how many times you should eat one meal a day, it will also tell you what you should eat. And it'll get you into the mindset of knowing how to eat in a way that sustains and nourishes your body. Because at the end of the day, listen, we already live in a world, right? Where we already live in a world where we're not in control. We're worried all the time. And you all have heard me explain this before. Most of us live in a perpetual space of fight or flight. That's why you have to be careful with connecting yourself to people who are not planners. There's enough stress out here because we're always constantly under attack for our money, attack for who we are. We're in a state of fight or flight, and it's just bad for your health. So plan things out. Try to reduce as much stress on yourself as you possibly can. And a lot of times, everybody else's lack of planning is not necessarily your emergency. So you want to be mindful of that. You might have to say, look, I got to reserve some of my emergency energy for my child or for my family. So I can't respond to everybody's emergency. Why is it important to think like this? Because if you live your life in a space of fight or flight, at a certain point, this is what happens. When your body is thinking that it's afraid and it has to fly and escape, what it's doing is the vessels, namely your arteries, are going to constrict. When those arteries constrict, they begin to redirect blood to your muscles. And when you redirect that blood to your muscles, guess what happens? Now it's getting you ready to jump, to fly, to run. Okay. And it's taking blood flow away from your organs, your kidneys, your liver. So a lot of us wonder why is there so many of us on kidney dialysis? It's because of this constant state of fight or flight. You compound that, not exercising. You compound on that, the bad food. And to come on here and talk about food and diet, I'm going to bring my cousin on. We're just going to talk about a good 10, 15 minutes and then we out of here. We're not going to keep y'all because I know this is a subject that a lot of y'all don't like, but you got to know about his book and you got to know about some of the work that he's been doing in this field. Okay. So I'm going to bring my cousin on. Hey,
what's going on? How everybody doing today?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, family.
How's your day going?
Busy, but busy a good thing, right?
You know what? Busy is a blessing because I remember it was a time, cuz, where I didn't have nothing to do. So I'd rather have something to do than nothing to do.
Right. Absolutely. Something to do means the bills getting paid.
That's right. Something to do. So look, tell us about your gym and then we're going to go into the book and then I'm going to let you go because I know you probably got clients this afternoon.
Yes. So the gym, I started my gym 10 years ago. Actually, business been going since 2012. I had my first gym about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And the feeling and vibe that I got from, having a gym and having people come in to, get their lives changed and head in a different direction was just motivation and inspiration for me to continuously keep on going and serving a community. I'm really big on watching the statistics of, how is our rates with diabetes? How is our rates with high blood flow? Yeah. Blood pressure and high cholesterol, so on and so forth. And my gym is just catered to really change those statistics. I have the courage to believe that I am the person to change that. And, that's just been a motivation of me having my own facility and having a gym, being in the fitness industry.
Treven, you have such a wonderful personality. I can only imagine because as a person who goes to the gym and some gyms you go to and the people ain't that nice, but you got that good, supportive and wonderful personality. And so in addition to that being your vibe and your personality, how did you get into being physical? Did you play a sport? I'm going somewhere with this.
Right.
How
Yeah.
did you get into
So
that?
my background is I'm a professional. I was a professional fighter. I retired at age of 28 and 32 now. So about a few years ago, I retired.
Mm-hmm.
It just came from being active my whole life. Always, always played football, and boxing was the main two sports, and track. And I felt like, when I always thought, okay, well, what do I want to do with my life? I thought fitness, because that's all my life been about, was just being physically active, and to
Mm-hmm.
give that back to the community was just an
Mm-hmm.
outstanding idea. It was one day I was inside of Planet Fitness working out on the treadmill, and I had someone ask me like, hey, can you train me? I'm in here and I don't know what to do. And it started with that person right there. I was dedicated with her every day. I was in the gym, worked with her. We got results. And I took that result and I branded it. And it turned into me training a whole football field full of people. And that's just really what physically made me want to get into the atmosphere of being a trainer, the industry of being a trainer,
Mm-hmm.
changing lives and seeing people, go from, one look to another. The transformation of what
Yeah.
comes with this is beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been changing the game in this industry. I know you got the gym, and if some people have looked at your stuff online, let me put your website up here. Um, they will see just all the different activities that you offer, because going to the gym is like a family, right? I mean, I
Right,
met some of my best friends at the gym,
right,
and so you really create that environment. But you also wrote a book.
right.
Tell us about the book.
So the book is 10 pounds in 10 days. So your body is going to respond to this in such a unique way, because we resetting your metabolism. And
Uh-huh.
what we're doing is we're taking out all the carbs, the sugars, the sodiums, because that's what puts the water weight on us. That's what creates fat. Water, the sugar that comes from, the fruit. It's
Mhm.
sometimes it's too much. It's oversaturated with the sweets and all the stuff we put in your body. So we're eliminating that for 10 whole days. We're going first day strictly all vegetables. The second day, we slowly start adding in the protein. I don't want to give too much away, because I want you guys to be able to go and
Right,
get the
right,
book
right.
and then see what the recipe is like inside the book. It also comes with the training along with the meal plan. So it's structured for you to eat right, and as well, get your physical fitness in, because 80% of you losing weight is your diet and what your body consumes. The 20% is what physically you do to benefit and complement the food that you put in your body. So for 10 straight days, this program is for beginners as well.
Mhm.
It's beginner friendly. It's just teaching you the basic fundamentals of just getting your body moving. And if you'll be surprised at how much your body will release if you just get up and do the basics. If
Right.
you show the basic love to your body when it comes to fitness, you're gonna be so blown away. Well, what happens to the transformation you receive from that?
Mhm. It's so important to love your body and love yourself. And would you find that so much of our disconnect with the love of self is impacting our body and our body image?
It's impacting the world. I feel the lack of self-love and just giving your body that attention that it needs. It's impacting the world. And um, you know, bad health comes with anxiety, stress. Your emotions is all over the place. Because it's just that when we get in the shower, I always tell my clients this: the truth about yourself always reveals itself before you get in the shower. You
Right.
you undress yourself for the day. You have that moment of truth where, man, I gotta lose this. But it's just
Mhm.
that thought, I have to lose this, without the action. And just
Yeah.
to implement that action every morning you wake up, it doesn't matter if you walk up and down your stairs 10 times. If As long as you get moving, your body will appreciate that.
Mhm.
Have you a beneficial breakfast in the morning, your body will appreciate that. And I just feel like, the lack of good health is impacting the world.
Mhm.
The energy that we produce to different people, it all shows from the lack of love that you're giving yourself from not being physically active, and just pouring back into yourself. I feel we're invested so much in this world to things that's not going to keep us living long, like money, like so on and so forth. Without good health, you're financing a funeral.
Yeah, that's right. Your health is your wealth.
Absolutely.
And that's why what you're doing is so important. But not only what you're doing, but how you're doing it. Because yeah, you're right. We can all go get a membership at Lifetime or Planet Fitness or whatever. But for me, to be at gyms like yours, where it's a loving environment, it's a fun environment, and literally, even though I might be coming to work out and it's hard, I'm coming there and it's a stress release.
Right. Yes, it's definitely a stress relief. Definitely a release of stress when you find out you're not the only one, fighting for a better version of yourself. When you reach a community of people who have that same goal that you have, it just is a sense of relief of like, hey, I'm not the only one that need to get in shape. It doesn't matter if there's a person in the gym that is have the best body in there. As long as she keeps coming to the gym, she has a goal to stay healthy and remain healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And your goal is at a beginner level is to make it there. And it only comes through consistency. And we have a community inside our gym where we hold each other accountable. We encourage each other. We push each other to the best of our abilities. No person is left behind without the group that finished clapping for that person to finish. So the atmosphere is what takes my brand to another level. You cannot buy atmosphere, and that atmosphere is set for everybody to be successful once you become enrolled into our program.
That's right. Well, I got the website up here, Top Flight Fitness Online. And I want us to do something together. We figure out how to do some kind of, because I got all these entrepreneurs over here in my database, right? And we so busy trying to get money. We need a program where we can start moving. And
Correct.
maybe it's a thing where we bring a group and we go, look, we going to Omaha to do a 3-day boot camp.
Right.
I'm talking about in person to jumpstart yourself. It's okay online. Okay, good. I got Alicia. She says she just purchased the book. Everybody go out there, purchase the book.
Thank you. Thank you for the support.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get together. Let's plan that. We'll do something maybe in the summer. Maybe it's a 2-3 day workout boot camp. And we just come there and pour into ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically right there at your gym. What you think?
Let's do it. I think it'd be perfect for you guys to come on down into my playground and figure out how, I can change your life and make an impact. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be a community impact towards a variety of communities around the world. So having you guys down here will be a extreme honor. And again, I thank everybody who is viewing this right now for purchasing the book. Wendy, I really thank you for bringing me on here and just being able, allowing me to shed my light and how I feel about fitness, just as much along with, I'm speaking for every trainer around the world, man. Our mission is to really change the statistics of how we live our lives, and to have this platform right here that you're creating for all entrepreneurs, not just in the fitness industry, is total blessing. And we're honored to be a part of this right now.
Well, because we're family, and I'm serious about putting that together. So I'm gonna put some thought into it, pray on it a little bit, and get back with you. Because not like you're that far away. If we talking 10 people, but we can't make all this money and then die early because we're not taking care of ourselves.
That is correct. And even if you guys don't come down here, I will fly up there. If we have a space and opportunity, I will fly out there to just kind of take that stress off of people having to figure out travel and arrangements. I could come out there.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. I thank you, cuz. Go train somebody. I appreciate you being on.
Yes.
Love you. Please give everybody a hug for me.
Yes, ma'am. I love you. Love you as well. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you all soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Y'all have a blessed.
You too. All right, y'all. That was Treven, and we're going to do that. We're going to take him up on that because we're talking about being happier, healthier, wealthier, and experiencing more love. And guess what? We're going to do that. How about we have Treven come up here to Chicago and we just do a whole spiritual training boot camp. Let me know in the chat if you'd be interested in that. We got a short show today because I got something I got to get back to. But listen, make sure you add the channel to your Roku lineup. It's Mind of an Entrepreneur. And make sure you absolutely go out there and get your commemorative Elijah coin. Make a donation. Y'all see it going across the bottom. And be sure to get Treven's book. Peace and blessings, family.